everybody. I'm glad to have you here today. If you remember where we left off last, the kids had just made it through the spider cave. They met the Spider Queen. The Spider Queen ended up helping them, and even though she was super duper scary looking, she ended up being a nice spider. They finally escaped the cave, and that's where we left off. So let's jump in. Chapter 5. Brah, brah. Jack splashed into the blue sunlit sea. He sank to the bottom and then bobbed back up. He coughed and pushed his hair out of his eyes. Annie was treading water nearby. "Hey!" she called. "Hey!" Jack sputtered. "I was wrong. You were right," Annie said. She sounded thrilled. "The Spider Queen just wanted to help us." "Yeah," said Jack, and he shook the seawater off his glasses and put them back on. "She must be really lonely," said Annie. "She probably feels like she has to hide in that cave because she's so scary looking." "Maybe," said Jack. He looked around the second cove. Purple shadows stretched over a rocky seashore beneath the cliff. The sun had moved further across the sky. "We'd better hurry," said Jack. "What do we do now?" "Read the rhyme," said Annie. Jack pulled the shell out of his pocket. Treading water, he read the next line in Merlin's poem, "And swim with a silky clothed in green." "What's a silky?" said Annie. "Who knows?" said Jack. "I don't know either." He looked at the cliffs and the shore. "Is a selkie a fish? A person? What?" he wondered. Then Jack saw two dark shapes speeding like fat torpedoes below the surface of the water. They were coming straight towards him and Annie. "Watch out!" Jack shouted. "Yikes!" Annie yelled. Jack and Annie swam out of the way as the creatures moved swiftly past them. Suddenly, two sleek gray heads popped above the surface. They had wide snouts and long white whiskers. They had tiny, wrinkly ears and big, dark eyes. "Seals!" cried Annie. The two seals turned their heads like periscopes. When they saw Jack and Annie, they opened their mouths, showing their small, pointed teeth. They seemed to be smiling. "Hi, guys," said Annie. "Brah, brah," the seals barked. Then they rolled through the water and bumped Jack and Annie with their noses. They barked again joyfully, then darted towards the shore. "Come on," cried Annie. "Let's play with them." "We don't have time to play," said Jack. But Annie had already started after the seals, swimming towards the rocky beach. Here's a cute little picture of the seal. "Annie, stop!" called Jack. "We have to hurry and find the Silky and the Sword of the Light before nightfall, or King Arthur will meet his doom." Jack's voice trailed off. Annie didn't hear him. She and the two seals had reached the shore and were getting out of the water. The seals clumsily hauled their chubby bodies onto a big rock and flopped down. Annie climbed onto the rock too. "Annie, come on!" shouted Jack. "It could be as late as 4 o'clock right now," he thought, and there was still a lot they had to do before nightfall. "Let's rest for a minute," Annie called. She sat near the seals and patted their shiny heads as if they were big dogs. The seals barked again. Actually, Jack wanted to rest too. He felt really tired. "Maybe we could rest for a minute on the rock with the seals," he thought. Then search for the Selkie. "Well, okay," he shouted, "but just for a quick minute." Jack headed for shore. By the time he dragged himself out of the water, the seals were lying on their backs with their eyes closed. Their white whiskers twitched as they slept in the warm sunlight. "Shh, they're napping," said Annie. She lay down beside the seals and closed her eyes too. "The sun feels really good. Jack, come on, lie down with us, just for a second." "Oh, brother," Jack muttered, but the afternoon sunlight did feel good. He climbed onto the warm rock and lay down next to Annie and the seals. "Okay, Just for a quick second, he said. Jack closed his eyes. The sunshine felt good on his tired arms and legs. The gentle sea breeze felt especially clean and fresh after the cave of the Spider Queen. The next thing he knew, he had faded into a deep, peaceful sleep. Oh no, they're taking a nap. I wonder how long they sleep for. Well, that brings us to chapter 6, the Selkie. So, in this chapter, hopefully, we figure out what a Selkie is, and hopefully, they didn't nap too long. Wake up, lazy bones! You can't sleep all afternoon, said a friendly voice. Jack's eyes shot open. Oh no, he thought. What time is it? He sat up and looked around. The seals were gone. Standing over Jack and Annie was a barefoot boy with a happy, freckled face. Teddy, said Jack. For a moment, he forgot all about the time. Teddy, Teddy, cried Annie, and she leaped up and hugged the young sorcerer. Teddy grinned from ear to ear. He was wearing a brown tunic. His red hair was damp. You're finally here, said Jack, laughing. I have been here for some time, said Teddy. Merlin sent me this morning. I was waiting for you on the beach with Kathleen. Came along and invited me to go for a swim with her. Teddy turned to a girl standing a little further down the beach. Like Teddy, she looked to be about 13. Kathleen, he called, come meet my friends. Here's a picture. There's Miss Kathleen, and there's Teddy, and that, of course, is Jack and Annie. The girl smiled and began walking over the rocks towards Jack and Annie and Teddy. She wore a green dress that looked as if it had been woven from grass. Her hair fell in black ringlets down her waist like a dark waterfall. These are my good friends Jack and Annie, Teddy said to the girl. They come from far away land. Hello, Jack and Annie, the girl said in a bold, friendly voice. I am very happy to meet you. My name is Kathleen. As she spoke, Kathleen's large eyes sparkled with the blue of the sky and the water. Jack couldn't speak. Kathleen was the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. I like your dress, said Annie. Kathleen laughed. I wove it from seagrass, she said, and I am not a very good weaver, I am sad to say. Do you live here? Asked Annie. I do, said Kathleen, with my 19 sisters. Wow, 19 sisters, said Annie. I couldn't imagine. Yes, said Kathleen, tossing back her long curls. I am the youngest of us all. We live in a cave up in the cliffs. Cool, said Annie. Is your cave like the cave of the Spider Queen? No, no, said Kathleen. It is much more cheerful than Morgan's cave. So that's her name, said Annie. I'm worried that she might be lonely. Ah, do not worry, said Kathleen. Morgan has many friends, bats, crabs, starfish, but it is kind of you to be concerned about her. And she smiled at Annie. Kathleen's friendly manner finally gave Jack the courage to speak. He cleared his throat. The water night was really cool, too, he said. The water night? Said Kathleen. Yeah, he said. The guy who carried us across the first cove. Kathleen looked puzzled. His horse had a fishtail, said Annie. How strange, said Kathleen. I often swim in that cove, but I've never seen or heard of such a night. Have you lived here a long time? Asked Annie. Always, said Kathleen. Kathleen is a Selkie, said Teddy. A Selkie? Well, that's what they're looking for, right? Well, yes, said Kathleen, laughing. You're in Merlin's rhyme, said Annie. It says, swim with a Selkie clothed in green. Merlin's rhyme? Asked Teddy. Merlin gave us a rhyme to help us find the Sword of Light, said Jack. The smile left Kathleen's face. Her beautiful eyes darkened. You have come in search of the Sword of Light, she said. Oh dear. What's wrong? Said Jack. Many have passed through here seeking the Sword of Light, said Kathleen, but as soon as anyone enters the cove beyond the jellyfish cave, terrible winter storms seem to burst out of nowhere. Even in summer, the storms have icy winds and rains. No seekers of the sword have ever survived these gales. Have you ever been to the cove beyond the jellyfish cave? Asked Jack. Kathleen shook her head. My older sisters have always forbidden me to go there, she said. In fact, no Selkie has ever dared swim into the cove of the stormy coast. Cove of the stormy coast, said Annie. That's the next line in Merlin's rhyme. Enter the cove of the stormy coast. What is Merlin's rhyme? Asked Teddy. Here, said Jack. Look. He handed the seashell to Teddy. The boy Sorcerer quickly read Merlin's message and rhyme. Then he looked at the sky. The sun moves on, he said. Let us make haste. We must find the sword before nightfall, or someday Arthur will meet his doom. Wait a minute, said Annie. She looked at Kathleen. The rhyme says we're supposed to swim with you. Will you come with us? Kathleen looked up at them for a long moment. Then she stood up and tossed back her curls. What do you think she said? Let's find out. Her eyes were bright. I have always wanted to explore that cove, she said. Hooray, said Teddy. You will be the first Selkie to do so. A grand adventure awaits us all. Onward! Hold on, said Jack. What about the jellyfish cave? You need not worry about the jellyfish, said Kathleen. They cannot harm us. They cannot, said Jack. No, said the Selkie. Not if we all change into seals. Change into seals? Well, chapter 7 is next, and it is called Cove of the Stormy Coast. And that is where we're going to leave off today. What an exciting book. I can't wait to find out what happens next. I hope you guys had really fun with last week's activity. The stress balls can be really fun to just fidget with and play with and, of course, relieve stress. So this week, I actually have some color theory and a spinner for us to make ourselves. Color theory is basic color mixing. And then, of course, it goes even further. But for me, I'm going to start with basics. So like red and yellow make orange. Blue and yellow make green. And red and blue make purple. Right. So in the spinner, let's see if I can catch it on TV. Those colors will mix. And look at that. It makes orange, green, and purple. So I also have some blank templates in your bags this week so you can make your own creations and let me know how those colors mix. But all you do is you take the paper, and this one's already colored. Like I said, I have some blank ones. You'll color those, and then you'll cut them out. You'll paste one of the circles on a piece of cardboard that's also in the bag. You'll cut around the circle on the cardboard so you can get the right shape and glue your other circle on. Then you'll poke through the 2 holes. They'll already be in the templates. And you're going to thread your string through, tying it at the end so that you have a loop. Then you're ready to go. You grab the loop on each end and you spin it. Don't hit yourselves like I do. And then you pull. And then it spins itself. All right, pretty simple. I hope you guys like it. I hope to see you next week for the next couple chapters of the book. Hopefully we figure out what happens, and hopefully they find the Sword of Light. All right, well, until next week, bye.